Hello, everybody, and welcome to a special Tardis on Talks. I hope I find you all well. Indeed, we are live on YouTube and Twitter. So, if you're watching on Twitter, hello. If you're obviously watching on YouTube, hello to you too. We got a couple of things to talk about. Obviously, there is still a reaction to the recent casting, and it has come to light that the admin of the BBC official account is actually censoring, hiding comments. Now, I've went through the thread myself. There are some comments that are justifiably hidden because they're absolutely disgusting. No matter what you think of the casting, you can't accuse someone of something directly. There are those type of comments, but there are some comments that are just negative about the casting, and people giving their opinions, and the admin is hiding opinions and comments. And I want to ask you guys in the chat, don't give you our answers yet, of course, but I want to ask you guys in the chat, what do you think about that? Is this typical BBC? Remember, they did the same also during the Chris Chibnall era. Also, it's been reported, believe it or not, that I'll read it out actually. Apparently there was some babies. Yes, you heard me right. Some babies cast. This is after we get the news of the recent casting, and apparently they cast some children, and the word that was used was it was a diverse bunch. So this is why I've asked the question: is RTD doubling down on the timeless children, or as Gobby Guy said, that's what Gobby said, doubling down? Fair question to ask. Or is there a retcon incoming? Are we going to see all of these timeless children throughout shooties there? I don't know. But that's what's coming out now. Obviously, it's coming from Doctor Who production news. Now, if you want to take them seriously, you may do so. But they do have people, as far as I know, they do have people out doing stuff and trying to get some, photographs and stuff like that. But I want to know your opinion on that. Very interesting. And the rumors about Jinx as well, about possibly being the Ranny or Susan, which is another rumor that's going about. But let's just say that the reaction to the latest casting has not gone down well, no matter what people say. Now, obviously, you've got the usual suspects defending this casting. I'm not surprised at all at this stage. I've even seen someone had a go at me apparently because I made the comment that they're not going to cast any more straight actors, and then they start talking about the 60th. I wasn't talking about the 60th anyway, so you took it out of context. I was actually talking about Series 14. But again, if you want to kind of gaslight everybody and change me words or put words in me mouth, go ahead. But that's not what I actually said. But there does seem to be a bit of a reaction to this. So for the next hour, I'm going to be talking to me guests, but only one has turned up at the moment. So we'll see if if the other guests turn up. But what you call it? So that's what we're going to be talking about today. I want obviously it's been a few days since the announcement. Want to see how people are feeling. But let's just say that some in the Doctor Who fandom have went through Jinx's tweets, and let's just say there's some questionable tweets that are up on their Twitter account, and this is again why I have reservations and have had reservations with all of this. It just seems to be a special club now for a certain type, and it does seem to be. I've seen some comments of people saying, well, you just have to get used to it. This is the way Doctor Who is going to be. And sure, views all go well and good. Sure, we'll just replace you and all of this other rubbish. Listen, you lose the fandom and you lose the British public like the Chris Chibnall era did. The show is dead in the water. So be careful what you wish for. As I said, yes, let's make Doctor Who for everybody if that's the case. But there just seems to be, you know what? I think some of these castings by RTD are deliberately to get a reaction. And I don't know why. I mean, he should be just concentrating on writing the best Doctor Who possible instead of pulling off these stunts, as some people have suggested. These are casting stunts to get a reaction, and maybe it is. But I've got something to show you. I will bring on my guest now, and then I want to show you all something. So this is PD Rich, and we were supposed to do a chill stream today, but of course that's gone out the window because of all the reasons.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, it has to be talked about. We've talked about Doctor Who when TV has done things good, and we've praised them. And I did say on this channel, because some people said, "Oh no, you've sold out," you're giving them a chance and all of this. And now some people are saying, "Well, I told you so." No, listen, yes, right now with what we're seeing, right, there is a lot of reaction, right? But at the end of the day, as I said, we'll only know how good or bad this is when we actually watch it. But there is something I want to show you guys first this evening to kick this whole stream off. Because I think it's important that we talk about what's going on right now. Channel 4 is in trouble. There's a public backlash. They've decided to do a show where adults are going to undress in front of kids. Now,
oh God,
what we did in the Netherlands, which was also criticised for the same sort of thing. Again, I said this from the very beginning, and I was criticised because, as I told you, I called out, when I learned about Juno Dawson and the type of books that Juno was writing for the age gaps, or the ages that they were supposed to, the books were aimed at. I called that out originally years ago, and I got a lot of criticism, right? So I'm going to show you some of the tweets as well, because I think you have to understand why there has been criticism and why we don't want this in Doctor Who. And, we've got to be out straight here. There's clearly a politicalization of Doctor Who going on under RTD, and it cannot be ignored. Now, as I said, it could all be well and good, right? And we could get some of the most sensational writing, and they're all brilliant in the role. But right now, you know, when people are being cast, people are obviously looking to see who these people are, and then they're seeing that they're saying some controversial things. You know, people are going to raise eyebrows. Well, I've got something to show you here now, right? And again, you will see if I use ourselves. Right, I'm not even going to say anything. I don't need to say anything. You will see if I use ourselves, and I know once I put this up, there's going to be some comments. So if you want to make a comment on this, the little video that I'm about to throw up, please do. Right, wait until the video is finished though before you make a comment, and let me put it on the whole screen there for you as well, just to make sure that you get to see this in its full glory here. Right, so as you can see from the title of the video, the kids who want to welcome Jinx Monsoon to Doctor Who. Right, and here we go.
And we're not sure who your character is, but we're very excited about the fact they had 2 hearts on Twitter this morning. So let's vote here. How many people think it's Susan, the Doctor's granddaughter, returning? How many people think it's Romana returning in another regeneration? How many people think it's the Ronnie returning? And how many people think it's a completely new character? Ooh, well, we will have to see, but we're very excited to see you in Doctor Who.
So there you go. So do you just want to see who they're welcoming into the Doctor Who fandom, just for context here, because you know this has to be talked about, and I don't care if I get criticized here. People can call me whatever they want to call me. At the end of the day, I'm sick and tired of this being ignored, this not being talked about, right? It's about time that it is, okay? At the end of the day, Doctor Who is a family sci-fi show, right? And when you hear the language coming out of this foul mouth, right? You would question, what are they doing in Doctor Who? Right? It's absolutely. I don't know what has happened to RTD, but it's. I don't get it, man. I don't get it. So here's just let it come up on screen. Hopefully there's no glitches tonight. So we have this. You can see that, can't you? Yeah.
Yeah.
So all bathrooms should be unisex, period. When men have their own bathrooms, they make it the most disgusting place on earth. Besides the fact there's no purpose for gendering bathrooms other than to enforce outdated gender binaries. Men's room just sucks, unless they're glory holes.
Oh, God.
Unless they have a glory hole. Sorry, unless they have a glory hole. So this is who these kids are welcoming into the fandom, right? By the way, Jinx, you're wrong. Women should have their own bathrooms and men should have their own bathrooms, because women should feel safe in their own private space. Again, another bloody activist, loudmouth activist, as usual, joining Doctor Who, right? And the only one that has outdated beliefs is yourself and everybody else that's spewing this nonsense, right? I tell you, there seems to be a determination by some weird men out there to wanting to invade women's public spaces. I just don't.
I know,
just
man.
don't
I
get
know.
it.
Sorry, I've been quiet for the last kind of few minutes. I've just been huffing under my breath. This is getting bad.
Well,
Really
here,
bad
hold
now.
on. It gets worse, right? It gets worse, right? So hold on. Okay, this has to be talked about. I did say I would, didn't I? I've never shied away from the fact. I said, if it's good, I'll praise. If we start getting red flags, I will call it out. And here I am, as promised, right? Because I stay true to myself. I'm not a yes man for RTD. I'm just hoping because of his past, he do the right thing by Doctor Who. And I still believe that he can, right? But these things have to be talked about
Yeah.
because when this type of person's coming into our fandom and is coming out with this sort of nonsense about glory holes and all of this, and is going to be introduced to kids in this fandom, I think it's absolutely disgusting, to be quite honest with you. Right? I'm sick and tired. I told you, man, sick and tired of this. You know what? Nobody gives a damn about people's feelings anymore.
No.
Right? And I don't give a damn about your feelings anymore. This is wrong. Doctor Who, drag queens, no business in putting those two words together. Simple as that. Right? And the absolute disgraceful nature of those tweets. And there's others there as well that I am actually trying to get up. We got that stupid dog bleeding kind thing in the now instead of the board. Just pour it back to the board, will you? And stop bleeding, acting the crap. Elon. Anyway, hold on. We'll find this here now. Because I know people that we know have been posting them. But actually, while I'm doing that, PD, do you want to read out some of the comments? But just be careful if there's any colourful words. Just put an alternative word there in its place, because we don't want to get into trouble.
Yeah, I can do. Everyone's just saying hello. I turned around and said about the lunatics running Channel 4. Cinnamon says, quite rightly so, why are they so obsessed with children? Jack says, hate to say this, but RTD did say he wanted to target 10-year-olds. 10-year-olds. I turned around and said they certainly is targeting 10-year-olds, but not in the way we were all thinking. Cinnamon says, of course they're American. Of course they're American. Hi, Sci-Fi Files Live. Just come in. They ain't got a clue, Peter Harrington says. Sorry, I'll get your name right in a second.
Yeah, they haven't gotten that. They don't know what. Listen, look. Again, we'll say it again. We don't mind representation and stuff
Not
like
at all.
that. But this just seems to be like, as someone pointed out rightly, it's just
depravity.
It's the people that you're getting.
Yeah.
Here's another one. I read the all bathrooms are unisex. Yeah, we read that one. We'll go to the next one, right? Because, well, stop blinking. Hold on. My computer is doing that weird thing again.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. To me, it's just depravity, no, absolute depravity. It's turning into. You've got the RTD's gone and selected somebody who's just literally shouting it's absolute garbage over social media. It's just wrong. Yeah, Robert Payne's kind of right. It was horrible to see what those kids being encouraged to think it's wonderful to have.
Here's another one, right? Here's another one, right? It's a typical. This is a typical activist. See, this is what I have a problem with, right? It's the amount of activists that they're bringing into the show.
Yeah,
not necessarily that this person is drag or anything like that, right? It's the fact that activists, they all seem to have an agenda, right? And here's another one, and I've just seen I've got a message off poor Charlotte. Sure, I did send an email, Charlotte. Check your spam. So, I mean, the
Just yeah.
stupidity of this tweet.
Oh, I know. That is just stupid.
I mean, don't trust anyone who doesn't agree that the future is female.
Oh my god.
I mean, this is giving me vibes of the start of the Jodie Whittaker era now.
Yeah.
And I'm
RTD is
starting to think maybe
encouraging
we
this.
got all those good announcements first, right? Because he was
Yeah.
trying to suck us in, and now here we go. Now, listen, I just want to say on the rumors. I mean, that video with the kids. I mean, at the end of the day, you've seen this person's tweets, right? There's a
Yeah.
lot worse, right? People have taken screenshots and thrown them up. You can go and check them out. I've retweeted some of them on my Twitter account. But the bottom line is, you're bringing all of these activists in,
Yeah.
right? And assume now. Listen, I don't think they've been responding to any of the negativity. But BBC, right, are hiding comments. Now, I
Yeah.
will say this, right, there are comments that, and I think people have went in and looked, there are comments that are rightly so being hidden
Yeah.
because you can't throw accusations at anybody
Yeah.
like that, except if you're proud of a TV show, like the TV show was talking about, and the presenter was coming out and saying, "Well, I can't wait for you to see it." Sorry, like you know, a lot of us are not really into shows where adults are stripping naked in front of
For the
children.
children, that's disgusting.
Sorry, where that's not our jam. The only people that will be watching that, I can't even mention, but they'll be the only people that'll be watching that, right? Because they're little weirdos,
Yeah.
right? But BBC is hiding just genuine comments about how they don't like the casting because they feel that it's more agenda driven, political, all of the usual. Queen Charlotte, I did send you an email. I don't know if you got it. And I did send a link, but I'll send them an email again if you like. But I sent both because I wanted to make sure that you got it. Did you not get I don't know if you got the link in.
I
I
can
don't know
send
what's
it.
happening. Actually, I don't know what's happening in there. No, I'll send it here. Yeah. I don't know what's happening with me. I don't know what's happening with when I post the link on on Messenger because it doesn't seem every time I seem to send it, it doesn't happen. So that's why I sent the email as well. But I've sent it again. Jack wants to come on. Jack, hold on, I'll send you the link in Twitter, Jack, Twitter. Check your Twitter. Check your Twitter, as Lee would call it. Check your Twitter in 2 seconds. So that's look, it's absolutely
It's just depravity. That's the only way I can describe it.
listen, I've been very open minded about everything that RTD has done
Yeah.
so far, and I'm struggling here with this one because when you read what this person has put up,
Yeah.
is that the type of person that you want to represent your show? A person that's said, well, if it's men's basketball, if it's a glory hole, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah. So just
Like,
yeah.
do you really want? Is that the type of person you want in your show,
No.
representing your show?
Not in a family show. Not at all.
You know, I mean, we even criticized Jodie Whittaker maybe a little bit unfairly with the leaked photographs, if you all remember that. But still, there is a certain standard if you are in on a TV show. Hold on now, there's something going on here. Hold on, Jack, bear with me. For some weird reason, I have to type your fucking name in because
It's all right. I sent him a link. You got it.
Oh, all right. PD
Yeah.
sent you the link.
With your permission, of course. You
Yeah,
won't bring
well,
on.
because without me, we'd be here all day if I do it.
Yeah.
Anyway, we got Queen Charlotte waiting in the background, so we might as well bring her on. As I said, we're finishing in 45 minutes, and I'm actually really serious. We'll probably finish a little bit sooner, to be honest with you. I don't want to bang on too much about this, but we got 35 people watching. We got loads of people watching on Twitter. By the way, this has become my most watched stream in about 3 months. So thank you. The last one that we did that I called Dr. Drag. I thought that was a nice little catchy title for. Anyway, let's bring Queen Charlotte on. Let's talk about those babies. So apparently, Doctor Who. How are you, Charlotte? By the way, so apparently they cast some babies.
Yeah, tell me what that means.
Right. So they've cast some children, babies. And apparently they're a diverse bunch of babies, is what the rumor is. So do you think that this is RTD, they're retconning the timeless child nonsense, or do you think he's going to actually, as Gobby made a very good point when I actually spoke to him on Twitter about it, and this is why I'm doing the stream, he talked about, well, maybe they're doubling down on it. You know, there does seem to be a bit with this character as well, Jinx, the rumors about who Jinx is supposed to be, Susan, the Rani, Romana. You've heard all of these names being thrown out. I mean, why am I bleeding? Oh, my leg is bleeding. Anyway, sorry about that. I just scratched my leg and now it's gushing blood, so I better sort that out. So while I'm doing that, I'll let Queen Charlotte answer. And guys, don't worry, I'll get to some of your comments there, right? So if you have any opinions, please keep it clean so I could throw it up on screen, okay? And I'll throw it up. By the way, we will be back for Friday Night Contact as well. Myself and Lee will be taking the reins. Chris, Cultivated Media, aka Bolstrick, is coming out of semi-retirement to do a video on all of this absolute tripe that's been going on these last couple of weeks. So look out for his video. I just thought I'd give you all a heads up. So while I'm going to fix my leg, I'm going to let Queen Charlotte now talk about these babies and the timeless child. But apparently they've been seen on set, and there's a couple of stunt babies as well, apparently, that are not babies, were a little bit older than babies. It's very confusing, but apparently there's babies on set, and these babies were a diverse bunch. So, you know, they were different from different nationalities, different races, if that's the right word. I wasn't sure what the right word is. I think it is different races. So different races, a diverse bunch. So I'm actually asking the question, is it RTD doubling down on the timeless children, or could this be used as some sort of a retcon? And that's why I'm saying, because they're saying babies, and if you remember that scene in the timeless child,
in that scene, it was children, it was small children very quickly all being shown to be past few generations. So it could just be for a storyline that requires, like, maybe they're going to an orphanage. I don't know, like maybe it's just happens to be a children's home or an orphanage.
Jinx Monsoon's character is the one that's running the baby house, and it's like a reprogramming school, like for, you know, to change their gender and stuff and all of that rubbish.
I didn't think of that. I was just thinking of, like, I know you were, like, the most simple explanation for this is just there might be a storyline that requires, like I said, it could be in hospital, could be for a hospital. If it's like a baby unit, it could be for an orphanage. Yeah. There's lots of different situations where you could need stunt babies, as you refer to them, or actual.
That's brilliant. That's my word, by the way. Right? Stunt babies.
Well, yeah, that's what I mean.
Stunt cast babies.
Yeah, it could be something just as simple as that, and it could have nothing whatsoever to do with the timeless child.
I'm only speculating, and of course I'm only taking the pee about.
I know, But
about
let's think about
Jinx.
this.
I'm
On
pretty
the-
sure Jinx is a nice person when you see their tweets. Like, a nice person, like, yeah, brilliant.
But it would be nice. I'm not going to lie if Russell is doing some sort of retcon of the retcon, or he's playing around and trying to change the Timeless Child so it's not the Doctor.
Well, the Jinx character, whoever Jinx is going to be playing, obviously a lot of people are speculating, right? And they are speculating Susan, Romana, Durrani.
Probably the wrong.
I'm surprised nobody has actually mentioned the Master, because it could be another kind of,
It could be a Missy situation.
Missy situation. So I wouldn't rule that out. But if you go with the other guesses, right, especially Susan, if it turned out to be Susan, maybe there is some sort of retcon happening. Because why would you bring Susan back
I'm
in?
sorry. I can't see Russell doing that, because Susan has got such a special place when it comes to fandom and what the fans see her as, the granddaughter, the first companion. She's got such an integral place that I can't
But what
see
if
Russell...
Jinx regenerates into her?
My guess, honestly, because it said major part in the press release.
It's a major part, yeah.
So she's not just going to be in one episode, so we know that much. I would guess she is. It's not going to be the fella playing a straight part. The impression I'm getting is it's going to be a female part, because they got announced as Jinx, and that's their drag persona. So I don't think it's going to be a male part. I do think it's going to be female.
Mm-hmm.
And people were saying also, if you looked at the emojis, that it was 2 hearts. So people
they're definitely a Time Lord. They're definitely a Time Lord. No, they don't put 2 hearts up for nothing.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So from the information we've got is what I'm trying to just sort of keep it to at the moment. My guess, honestly, I can see Rani. I know a lot of fans usually love to use that as, oh, it's the Rani. But just the look of her, I think would almost suit Rani to be that sort of over-the-top look. That sort of in-your-face-a-bit look. I can see the Rani looking a bit like that, if I'm being perfectly honest.
Here's one. We do know that Chris Chibnall tried to do multi-doctors. Right? So he's got the Fugitive Doctor. And
she better not be a doctor.
And remember, there were supposed to be other doctors, but they never materialized. But Chris Chibnall was going to introduce more doctors.
He was, yeah.
Yeah. So I'm not saying that RTD is going to do that, but this is a Time Lord. So who else, right? What other Time Lord could they do?
Oh, do you know what it could be? And this has been my secret hope for ages with New Who. Just create a new bloody Time Lord.
Yeah, that'd be good.
I would love it if whoever Jinx is playing is just one that either escaped the Time War, that either was even pre-Time War and just wasn't on the planet when it got destroyed and has been hiding. Like, I'd love that as a storyline. Because if we think about what we're guessing Neil Patrick Harris is going to be, that's a far reach for a character. We're thinking it's Celestial Toymaker. So it seems to me that, and if you think Beat the Meat, that's a pretty far reach. So it seems to be that Russell isn't going for the obvious, to me, at the moment. He's going very much for either very sort of things only real sort of fanny fans will know, like who know the comics and all the extended material, extended universe stuff, or he's just reaching back to somebody like possibly the Celestial Toymaker. So maybe, I said, it comes across to me that he's not doing the obvious stuff right now. And for me, even though, like I said, I could see a Rani, for me that's too obvious. I could see this possibly being a new Time Lord. Especially if we've all sort of said, like, one of the big things that Chibnall did as a mistake was destroying Gallifrey. Could Jinx's character be a way of Gallifrey coming back? could this be Russell's way, instead of maybe retconning the timeless child? Is this his way of retconning Gallifrey being destroyed? Because that was a massive criticism, and I can't think that didn't get heard.
Yeah. Some people are complaining about the audio. Am I crackling, or is it just Queen Charlotte? Let us know.
Yeah, I'll try. My audio
because
bad,
Charlotte does have some problems sometimes with audio. I think it only happens when she comes on here, though.
No, I get it on Dan's channel sometimes.
Oh, dear. So, yeah, it's a bit weird. All right. Let's see. Didn't Romana refer to her child self as a time top? Shada says Daphne.
It's point. Queen. Okay, I'll see if this does anything.
What if Jinx turns out to be Jenny? She had 2 hearts, and she did regenerate at the end of the Doctor's daughter. True.
But she's not a full-time Lord, so I can't see that being it. I think it's very deliberate. We're being told Jinx is going to be a full-time Lord. Is that any better, folks? I'm probably still going to crackle, but is it any better?
Okay. It's a little bit better. So not the drag queen of hearts to connect to the Time Maker, like the Queen of Hearts. I get where you're going with that one, yeah. But again, it's a sci-fi show. I mean, I keep going harping back to this. You know, the type of entertainment that Jinx does is not family, right? So
no,
I just don't get this casting.
I can tell you a bit from
and
Dan.
Then you look at the tweets, and I'm serious. There's more, man. People have put up loads. I've only shown you 2. One talking about glory hole, the other one talking about invading women's spaces. Like, you know, I'm sorry, it's wrong. Right? I don't care you're a trans woman, right? At the end of the day, bottom line is, right, you are biologically born a male. So I'm sorry, you cannot be using women's bathrooms, right? We come up with an alternative and have trans bathrooms if we have to, right? But you can't be going into women's bathrooms. They deserve to have their own safe space. Just like you guys do, just like men do when they have their toilets.
They can give it out,
right?
But can't take
all
it,
of this unisex toilets and all of this is utter nonsense, right? Utter nonsense. Because women don't just use the toilet either, right? Some women might be coming back from work and might be meeting their friends and might want to get changed in a public bathroom. Okay. It's the same with the dressing rooms in all of these stores. You're saying have them unit. No. They should stay the way it is. And if we have to come up with an alternative, as I said, and have dressing rooms exclusively for trans people, well, then do it. But shouldn't be allowed to invade women's spaces. I'm sick of tired of this nonsense,
and toilet,
Right? Yeah, I'll just say a bit of what I've seen in fandom since the announcement. It has definitely let a small section. I do think they're a small section, but they're very loud.
Oh, they've got their voices back again.
A small section that would. It's like once again before it was this whole the feminists have taken the show. Shut up! It's about all women now, which was what Chibnall's run was.
Yeah.
And now it's become, instead of feminists, it's become the activists of the LGBTQ.
Yeah.
That's now what now it's become.
They've got their voices again now, the others as well. They've got their tails up now. Because first they were criticising them, sending them death threats, sending David, and now all of a sudden RTD is the greatest thing since sliced bread. I mean, they're very fickle too.
Like I said, I'm now seeing that same rhetoric of get out the fandom again. And I did not want to see that back. That was one of the things I was most wanting to go with Chibnall's era. And it's come straight back.
Yeah.
And it's horrible. It's absolutely horrible.
Mismanaging showrunner, I think. That's the only way I can explain it.
Because I'm sorry, Russell would have known that having this casting, whether you agree with it or not, he would have known it would have allowed certain elements to come back into this fandom.
I think it was deliberate.
Yeah.
And those elements...
I honestly do. I honestly think... I don't know. When I say deliberate, what I mean is I honestly think he's trying to please everybody.
I think he is as well.
I'm pleasing absolutely nobody.
And I think he's missing the mark, to be quite honest. Because as I said on the last stream that we did, right, it's as simple as this: he shouldn't be trying to please everybody, and that includes fans, right? He should just write the best version of Doctor Who that he can write, put it out, and whoever watches it, right? And if it's as great as his writing has been over the last few years, he had nothing to worry about. But we've seen that I just don't get this casting. I actually don't. I've no problem with Yasmin Finney's casting. I never had a problem with Yasmin Finney's casting. I don't have any problem with any other casting that he's made. I just don't think the last two in particular, you get your Doom, and now you get this one, who happens to be even worse than your woman. So they keep getting worse, and the activists.
Yeah, and another thing I find odd at the moment, I don't know if you two have noticed this. Why are we getting no 60th special news?
No.
Why is it all for Series 14 castings?
Yeah.
I know they're filming, but still, it should be equal. I would think at the moment of 60th anniversary castings.
In fairness, they'll probably argue that well, actually, no. When you think about it,
we're not going to see Series 14 for 2 years.
Yeah.
At least, if I've got my counting right there.
Actually, no. We will see. Shooty's era this year. He does his first.
We might see a special, but
he gets no. He is, yeah. And then the series is going to start early March, probably late February, early March. The way he used to do it. Yeah. It's not even that long away. It's not even that long away. I get what you're saying. They're only filming now. We seem to be getting a lot, but we're not getting much about the 60th. And we were all hoping for a trailer, Jordan Red Nose Day, and that never happened.
No.
But I think there is something coming Easter in relation to the 60th anyway.
I know, but the reason why I brought that up is the problem is when we're getting castings with no context. Because you can't give context yet. It's too early to give context. So, like I sort of said, my opinion still on this whole issue is we can't fully judge this casting because we don't know enough about it yet.
Yeah.
No, but there was always, as I said, and I tried to explain to everybody, because it did get a bit heated the last one, the last stream, I have to say. It really did actually get very heated.
Worth on dance.
But as I said, you've got to look at this. The reason why there is a reaction is because of the context, and the context is the previous era and the way things were done. And every casting decision was done for a reason, because now the showrunner of that previous era has actually come out and admitted that certain castings were done because he needed a particular, box to tick. He said it, right? He said it. Simple as that, right? He's admitted it. So bringing Jodie Whittaker in, didn't give a crap. She's a woman, right? Didn't give a crap whether she was good or bad. She's a woman. Ticks the box. Brings Joe Martin in because he wanted to bring in the first Black Doctor. Then doesn't even use her, disrespects her.
Yeah, and here's the other thing. Like, they can try and control the narrative now on Twitter and Instagram, whatever they're trying to, with all the deleting of comments. You can do that now, but when it comes to us actually seeing these episodes, we will judge for ourselves as a fandom whether this individual can act or whether Russell's writing actually justifies them having a good character. We will judge that for ourselves. And it'll go either way. It will either be, okay, we can see you've cast this person because they're actually really good and they can act, and you've got a good storyline, or it could go the other way. You can't control that, BBC and the production team. So you can't then hide.
Well, it's the admin that's running that. In fairness, we don't know if in fairness, right, if you go in and actually look at the comments that are hidden, there are some that are justifiably hidden. And I don't think anybody that has went in and had a look would disagree with me there. But there's a lot that are saying, why have you cast a drag queen? Like, or
The amount
what's
they're
RTD
deleting,
trying to do with this casting, those type of comments are being hidden, right?
that's my
And
point.
that's
It's
wrong.
a legitimate
But
criticism.
the gas thing is, though, Charlotte, is that they're allowing some criticism. It's like as if they're trying to put the favor in on the side of the good comments. But if you were to actually calculate all the bad comments that they've hidden, and then you go in, you look through the thread and count the amount of good, the bad actually is overwhelmingly there. Like there's no competition. The good comments are just a few.
Yeah, and that's what I mean. We will judge this when we see it. You can't control that.
Yeah.
And this fandom is very good at now sniffing out, is this done for the right reasons or the wrong reasons? And I'm hoping it's for the right reasons. I really am.
Well, I mean, see, this is the thing. Peter says he's looking forward to the new title, opening music. Would be a nice treat for Easter, but again, will it be now? You know, because there's a lot of fans out there that are like,
No, I think it needs to be something more now, Peter.
Yeah.
I think it needs to be a casting that's gonna not cause put the cat amongst the pigeons.
the trouble is they think people will be enthused by Jinx ahead of time instead of, oh, that's who it was after the fact. Yeah, see, I don't know if I agree. I know it's the modern way to do things now, but you know, and you would get some guest casting announcements. I'm not saying it's never happened, but that's the one thing that I don't like about modern thing. You should just do the TV show. We just find out who's in it when the fucking thing is done.
Yeah.
I
That's not how
just
it's.
hate
I know
that
what
they
you
tell
mean.
you. They just hate the way they tell you. Even in future star, oh well, this person's going to be in a future episode. Well, you could have surprised us, like.
They do it for
They could
filming though.
eliminate
A
all
lot
of
of
this
time.
nonsense in fandoms if they just didn't
Yeah,
fucking
sure, that's
release
right.
that casting.
So they do it for the difference is nowadays they know fans will go out with their phones videoing everything, so they have to announce it.
Yeah.
All merchandise figures will be underway by now for the Christmas period. If they mess up, companies will get, they will get screwed over again.
But they do the wrong thing. They're going to destroy everything before it even gets off the ground. They're going to blow the plane up on the runway, pretty much. It's what I'm worried about now.
Disaster Area says it's like RTD has tried to please one side first, male doctor, female companion, all logo. Now they are trying to please the other side. That's how I see it, and I don't think he should be pleasing anybody, though.
Exactly.
He shouldn't be even trying to please us. Just write the best version of fucking Doctor Who and put it out there, and then we'll judge it.
A good bloody
Just
episode.
stop trying to please everybody. And it's a family TV show. Get your foul-mouthed, horrible people out of our show, man.
Yeah.
Why writing bleeding, disgusting tweets like that about glory holes? What the hell, man?
Exactly. Yeah, you know why he hired her though? Because Jinx's husband is best friends with Russell. That's why.
I was gonna say when I heard that, I was like, "Oh, Russell, this is starting to look like possibly a mate sort of job you've given out."
It's Christian all over again. Mates Club.
That's the vibe I was getting.
Yeah.
Right. And again, the show does get accused of that. It does get accused by the other side. But you see now they're not actually speaking up now because they feel it's their club now.
Yeah.
You know? Like you're bitching and moaning for months. Now all of a sudden they see that it's swung the other way. Now all of a sudden their club days can get out of the fandom.
No, but here's the thing, like you said, they're so fickle. The next time he does something they don't like, they'll be at his throat again.
Exactly. I mean, they call about diversity, but they can't have diversity of absolute diversity of casting and get new people in. They still will be part of the Mates Club.
Because I still think the 60th specials are going to be very traditional, going back to the roots of the show, doing what works. I still think that's what we're going to get. and I can't see some of these newer fans who have started to speak up now liking that. I
No.
really don't.
Look, again, it is a fair point to make that, we don't know nothing yet.
No, that's the problem. We are all speculating at the moment.
Right? After the 60th is over, we should be getting. Well, after the 60th is over, the last episode, we'll be guaranteed to get a trailer of the upcoming shooty era because that's the way RTD likes to do it. He likes to set it up, give it a couple of months off, then first to discuss the trailer and all of that, and then it'll be back again, right? So we will get a trailer at the end of the Christmas special, right, of what's coming in, and that'll be the first indication of what this show is going to be like. But can I also mention that RTD is actually it's come out of the horse's mouth. What did I tell you? That this 60th was going to be the last time that you's kind of that Doctor Who's done the way he's done it in the past, and then Series 14 was going to be something completely different, but it still have certain elements of the show that we knew. Well, RTD is after confirming that. So there's another thing that my sources got right months ago. But there you go. He's confirmed it. So Series 14 is completely different to the way that you know the show. So RTD, the way he did it in 2005, the way Moffat did it, even the way Chibs did it, throw that out the window. It's completely different. But it's going to have, and he's even said it, it's going to have all those elements that make Doctor Who, but it's going to be different. It's going to be different. The show is going to be completely different. As I said on this channel before everybody else did. Nobody believes that, and that came out of my mouth, but it's all coming true now. I just have to sit back and revel in it all. But it's another thing that we said on this channel. And again, this is why I think, all of this is happening right now. There's something really big coming. And this 60th anniversary is going to be the last bit of familiar Doctor Who that we get, because he is just going to totally rewrite the history books with this show. It's going to be a completely different animal. I said it to you from the beginning. I think people are still holding on to the old formula. The old formula is gone. So he's throw that out the window. 45-minute episodes probably gone. Format is going to change. I would not even be surprised if they go down the route of chapters and do it a bit like what the Disney Plus shows do it. Maybe 25, 30-minute episodes.
See, I don't see that. I see it possibly just being like an hour at least, or a bit longer and lesser episodes.
Well, they could do that as well, because some shows do the hour format, and you could do the hour an episode and say have 8 chapters, and that'd be 8 hours of Doctor Who. But this show is going to be different to everything that we've known Doctor Who to be, and it's going to be very interesting. But I tell you, he is making it very hard for himself. He started off so well. Well, he didn't. He didn't start off so well, but then he recovered. And then we got a great couple of announcements after announcements after announcements. And then we got Doomsday. And it just seems since Doomsday, everything has gone to shit, by the way. Just want to make that obvious to everybody. It has gone to crap.
Totally.
Since Doomsday. I don't know what the hell is going on, but I'm going to say it out straight and categorically. Jinx and her opinions on Twitter have no business of being in Doctor Who.
No.
Simple as that. I think it's absolutely disgraceful. I don't know who the show.
Not in this fandom.
By the way, someone that was involved in the show years ago, back in the conception of Doctor Who, their son spoke out, and of course all of these mad idiot fans went after him, including Mr. You-Know-Who reviews, even start sticking his R in, because he has to stick his R in and show everybody how virtuous he is.
Yeah.
Right? but he's actually criticizing one of the creator's sons because they said that their father would be basically spinning in their urn. Like it's an absolute disgrace. Like, so yeah, it's being called out by a lot of people. And you know, we'll just have to wait and see what happens. But these last couple of weeks have probably not gone the way that RTD expected. And I would say again to RTD, yes, you have built up a lot of goodwill. And, you know, while you might thought you were waving on the crest of that or the waves of that, unfortunately, it's fragile like ice.
Yeah.
And you have to do better. Because this is not what we imagined you were going to do. And you've got to stop trying to please everybody.
Exactly.
And just write the best Doctor Who that you can. Listen, as we said, we will wait and see what happens with this. But I have to say the last couple of weeks certainly haven't gone down well. With the majority of fans, it doesn't matter what people say. They could say all fans are pleased. They're not. The majority of fans aren't actually. And it is the majority. It's always the minority that get the newspaper inches and are the ones that are more vocal because they are represented by all of these people. But the fact of the matter is, if you actually count all of the negative comments, and not fans going after each other, because there's a lot of that, but there is an awful lot of negative comments. And then if you add it up with all the positive comments that are in that thread, it doesn't add up. The negative comments outweigh the good comments. And, you know, just like the Doomsday, you know, video was ratioed, you know, I didn't even bother going into dislike it because it was ratioed anyway. Why should I add to it? It's done, right? But this has not been a good couple of weeks for Doctor Who. And everybody keeps bringing up that she's the Rennie, but there are legal issues with that. There are legal issues with that, apparently.
Maybe backstage it's been resolved. We don't know.
It could be resolved backstage. Hope not, because if Jinx is, that I don't know how I'll react to that. For all we know, all the fuss could be a big load of nothing. Exactly, but again, you know, as I said, you got to take it in the context of the last 5 years. Everybody's going to be suspicious over these castings.
Yeah.
Right? It's as simple as that. And if people can't understand that, just as we were about to finish, Jack shows up, but we'll bring him on for a couple of minutes. But I am finishing up, as I said. I'm literally leaving. I have to head off and do stuff. I'll say it now. And I'm doubling down. Shooty was cast because he was black and gay.
We don't know that whole thing. We'll have to see for his performance.
We don't actually know that because it hasn't been indicated whether he's Doctor, how he's playing his Doctor. So I think, you know, just because the last two castings, he's been pretty spot on with the castings. As I said, he's cast trans actors and actresses, and we haven't had an issue, right? This is different with this person because, again, as I said, over the last few years on TV, there seems to be this thing of trying to normalize drag acts.
Yeah.
Right? Drag is adult entertainment. And a lot of people get confused. You know, that type of drag has no business of being in Doctor Who.
No, it's adult entertainment.
And then if you see the type of tweets that this person is coming out with, right? I'm sorry, right? If a straight person said that, right, and worded it against someone in the LGBTQ plus community, they'd be cancelled.
Yeah.
All right. Now I'm going to bring Jack on for the couple of minutes that we have. So we literally got 10 minutes. So I'll let Jack have the floor for the next 10 minutes. So Jack, go ahead. Give us your opinion on all of this, mate.
Well, it's.
Are you there, Jack?
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, you're gonna have to turn it up a little bit, buddy.
That better?
Yep. Go ahead, Jack. The floor is yours because we're literally
Okay.
finishing up.
Yeah,
Sorry about that, buddy.
sorry. I didn't mean to be so late. Yeah, it's absolutely disgraceful, and I don't know if Russell's aware of these tweets. I don't know if he's aware of them or not, but it's like, this whole thing, like, you can have drag actresses. Honestly, it's not my kind of entertainment, but you can have it. I've no problem with that, but I stand by the fact that Doctor Who is a family show, which means that children will be watching. And I think some people would say, but we've had like LGBT representation for children before with Captain Jack, and it's like, yeah. And I will say, when I was 8 years old, I did say to my dad, like, why is a guy kissing another guy when Jack snogged the Doctor? But it was all, he had a character. His sexuality wasn't the main focus, and I think the adults could laugh at the very kind of like adult jokes that would often happen, but the kids wouldn't be any the wiser. But I think something as in your face as drag queen, and it relates to that whole drag queen story time stuff. I just don't think it belongs in entertainment where children are, and I don't think that's offensive at all. And I think there'd be some drag queens out there who'd even agree with that.
Yeah, yeah. Unfortunately, those drag queens would be silenced for speaking up, like what happens a lot when people. I mean, even some trans people have spoke up about, how they were, how they believed that they were forced into all of this and stuff, and how they regretted it. But those voices are ignored, and you're taught, how dare you bring up those people? Those people are traitors, sort of thing. Look, they eat their own, right? We've seen it with John Barrowman, right? They cancelled him without even hesitation. Okay, they didn't give two fecks about him, right? And he was an advocate of all of this. He'd be even in favor of this casting, right? And they still cancel him. Apparently, his West End or his musical show that he was doing now is permanently cancelled. So he can't do nothing, the poor bugger. Because once they turn on you, that's it. Your career is done. Right?
Well,
so that's the type of mentality that they have. They will climb over everybody to get what they want. And remember, folks, they'll never be happy.
Put it bluntly, they're extremists.
Yeah, they'll never be happy. They'll continue to want more and more and more and more. And before you know it, then, and it's already happening, before you know it, then we become the cattle, they become the elitists. See, this is what's happening. They'll become the elitists, you see, because they want everything, and then they won't be happy. And then, you see them now, they're organizing now, and there's been a few incidents, and we saw the recent stuff that happened in Nashville. There's going to be a lot more of that, by the way, folks. This is only the beginning, right? This is how this has become, and this is driven by the media and the activists who have been lying to these poor people for years, right? They have the same rights as the rest of us, but yet they don't have human rights, apparently. There's a genocide going on, apparently. Yeah, I said that. There's that's what they're telling these kids, the media. Oh, there's a trans genocide going on. I've never heard that and so ridiculous in all my life. Right? Genocide. Right? Genocide's where people die. Right? And in recent history, we've had genocides. Yes. The most notable one would be the one involving the bad Germans and the Jewish people. And a lot of other people as well on top of that. Over 6 million. That's a genocide. But yeah, the media and these activists have them all convinced that there's a genocide going on. And then you get all of this infecting our shows. Now, remember, we've got Jinx with her disgusting tweets, and then we've got Juno Dawson, who's also being involved in Redacted, who has wrote those books for 12 to 16-year-olds or 17-year-old, whatever the age group is, and the illustrations depict graphic details, and also tells these kids how to set themselves up on a dating app and how to put pictures up on this dating app, and where you can meet fellow people on this dating app.
I want to tell you a story about someone who I work with at the CAF. Now, a lot of people would think, oh, the younger generations, they're doomed. Well, the girl I work with is 14, and she's in year 10. You can tutor year 7s. I don't know if any of you remember that in secondary school. Yeah, sure. So, you
Not
can
my
look
time.
Yeah, well, you can tutor the younger generations, and she was tutoring this year 7 who identified as a furry. And she came into school wearing a clip-on tail and says, you have to be careful because I growl. I wish this was a joke, but it's not. And, she's just beyond confused about all this stuff. So she's against all this woke stuff, and she's only 14. So, and I said to her that day, I said, you give me hope for the younger generation. You really
The blowback is going to be immense, Jack, when it hits.
It is going to be immense.
It's going to hit an asteroid hitting.
But like I've spoken with Lee about this, I hope it doesn't swing too far the other way.
Yeah,
to the point where you and Lee get affected, because I don't want that.
No.
I thought it sounds to me like in the 90s and 2000s, that was when it was like spot on. We got it, lads.
Yeah.
But no, then, of course, someone said progressives are like a hill. They go up and then they go straight back down again because they want too much.
Yeah.
They always want more. They can't just like, right, we've done it, lads. Tea break, let's chillax. No, they just want more and more and more.
Always more and more.
And then they end up pulling it down the exact way it came, but just from the other side of the argument. Well, I'm sorry, but the way RTD has behaved, the way Gatwa has behaved, the stuff he said, I'm not trying to force anything on you guys. If you've seen it, if you haven't, it's okay. But, and the way this person has behaved, the way I forget the name of, is it Yasmin Finney? Is that the name?
Well, I heard Yasmin Finney's comments,
Right, yeah. The way she's come out, they are activists. Okay, and I'm sorry, but in the words of Terrence Dicks, whatever a writer thinks or feels tends to come out in the script. So I'm sorry. I'm not saying I'm not good. Like, I'm going to watch the anniversary, but I'm telling you, if I don't like what I see in that, I won't be tuning in for Series 14. If I do like what I see, I'll say, yeah, I'll give Shooty a chance, because you've got to give him a fair shot. You can't fully review something until you've seen it.
You watch it.
Exactly.
I agree with that 100%. But I understand why people don't want to watch it.
Yeah.
I do. I fully understand.
I do. I really, at first I didn't.
But
this time... but I do get it. It's been a traumatic last 5 years, and people can laugh at that, but it literally has. So I get it.
And this time, I'm just going to say, sorry, I'll just, this time, I won't be giving Russell or Gatwa a whole series. I'll be giving him 3 episodes, max.
So if they don't impress you after 3 episodes, you're out.
I'm gone, because I just don't want to put myself, because they usually do first episode present, second future, third past. Russell tends to work in that kind of pattern.
Yeah.
And I guarantee you, when the past one comes around, that's when things are really going to get spicy, if you know what I mean. Because we can't hide from this. The Doctor being a different skin color is going to impact certain time zones he goes to, unless he's got that chameleon thing that they used to get Martha out of that situation, which I'm glad they did. Martha was a black companion. They never brought anything up, and they used a cheeky little, oh, it's okay, you've got to put a filter on you, just act like you own the place, it works for me. If they want to do something like that, fine. But, I just don't think they will. I think the social commentary will definitely be there.
Right. That is the elephant in the room. And it's going to have to be addressed. And it'll be interesting, though, to see how RTD actually does address it. Will he do a Chibnall or will he actually do it the way we believe that RTD can do, which is correctly? Only time will tell. But look, we're going to come back on this topic because I'm pretty sure there's going to be more information coming out on this character that Jinx is going to be playing. And I'm pretty sure there'll be other casting announcements in the meantime. But we'll leave it there for now. So I want to thank me guests, PD Rich, Jack, and Queen Charlotte. So we'll go around and do the channel shout outs as we usually do, and we'll wrap it up there. And I want to thank everybody for contributing in the chat as well. I threw as many as the comments up as I could. So thank you for that. We really do appreciate it. Don't forget to leave a comment in the comment section and like the video. I want to thank everybody for watching the last stream that we did, which was Dr. Drag. I like that little title. If you haven't watched that video, go back and watch that. There was a very heated debate on that one as well. Not so much tonight, but there you go. But we'll go around now and we'll let the guys do their shout outs. So we'll start with PD Rich.
Yep, you can normally find me in the chat on Rabbi's channel or over here.
Fantastico. Jack.
Yeah, I've got a YouTube channel, Drawing Jackrabbit. Go check that out. I know the title's misleading. It's where I mostly review toys, but I swear I'm going to do artwork eventually. And yeah, that's about it because I'm not active on Twitter for my own safety.
Okay. Fantastic. Twitter has become a bit of a shithole, but we won't get into that. And finally, we've got Queen Charlotte.
Yep, so you'll catch me on the Spacebook. We're sort of on a mini break for the live shows, but if any news comes up, we've been doing pop-up. The lads did a very heated stream on the whole Jinx scenario. So Dan, JT, Ian, Rob and Being, probably others which I'm forgetting, we're all. So if you want to watch that on the Spacebook, that was Tuesday night, and then you've got podcasts which are going to carry on and pop up, so you'll catch me on the Type 40 Live and some of the podcasts coming up, and obviously here for Chill Zone stuff and whenever Noel wants me.
Fantastic. Yeah, we'll be here doing a lot more of these streams because there's just so much stuff coming out now. We have to keep on top of it. Someone said in the chat, RTD is certainly keeping you busy and always keeping everybody busy. That's for sure. So we'll see. The next couple of announcements, in my opinion, will have to be somewhat decent. Maybe to see if they can, settle everything down. Maybe put fans' minds at ease. Maybe get a little bit of insight into what character this Jinx is going to be playing. But again, for the tweets alone that they put up on Twitter, I don't think this person should be anywhere near Doctor Who, and that's just a personal opinion. I think some of those tweets are disgusting, and it's not representative of Doctor Who.
They're not
fair enough.
Kind of drag
those
out,
tweets were put up a long time before this person arrived in Doctor Who, but I cannot believe that nobody thought that fans wouldn't go back and check out who this person was and what type of stuff that they tweet. And it's absolutely disgusting from what I've seen. So, we'll see what happens. But I'm going to leave it there. So thank you all. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, leave a comment. And we will see you again. What day is it today? It's Wednesday, isn't it?
Wednesday.
Yeah, I've got the member stream tomorrow because I just pushed everything. And actually, I'm thinking of putting the member stream Thursday anyway because it makes sense to do the previous show the night before. Then I'm actually going to do the main stream with Lee and Chris. So, member stream tomorrow. So, come and join me for that. So, for now, we'll say good night.
Good night, everybody.
We'll see you tomorrow.
Bye.
And then I'll see you on Friday. So, until then, enjoy the rest of your evening. Good night. This has been the Tardis Zone Talks, and we will see you all very soon. Yes, I'm gone now in me mad Irish angry voice.
If he presses the right button, folks.
Here we go. This is the one. Bye.
Bye.
Bye bye.